How did a country created less than 80 years ago come to dominate one of the most contested lands in history? Today, we'll uncover the truth about how Israel came to occupy Palestinian lands and how this conflict continues to shape lives and politics globally. Stay tuned for the full story. Welcome to Animatex. Today, we're breaking down the deep history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. From Zionism's rise to the creation of Israel, the Nakba, and the ongoing occupation, we'll explore the key events and policies that have caused immense suffering for Palestinians. Let's dive in. In the late 19th century, Zionism, a nationalist movement, emerged in Europe. Zionists sought to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine, then part of the Ottoman Empire. At the time, Palestine was home to a predominantly Arab Muslim and Christian population. The idea of creating a Jewish majority state in their land was the beginning of tension. During World War I, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, promising a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, ignoring the rights of the indigenous Arab population. After World War I, Britain took control of Palestine, and Jewish migration surged. By the 1930s, Palestinian resistance grew, with protests and strikes against land confiscation and the influx of settlers. The local population feared being displaced in their homeland, and tensions escalated into violence. In 1947, the UN proposed partitioning Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. Although Jews were a minority and owned less than 10% of the land, the plan granted them 55%. Palestinians rejected it, calling it unjust. In 1948, Israel declared independence, sparking war with neighboring Arab states. For Palestinians, this became the Nakba, or catastrophe, as over 700,000 were expelled or fled, and hundreds of villages were destroyed. To this day, Palestinian refugees are denied their right to return, while Israel expanded its borders. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem, beginning its military occupation. Since then, Israel has built illegal settlements in the West Bank, seizing land and displacing Palestinians, violating international law. Over 700,000 settlers now live on Palestinian land, making peace more difficult. In Gaza, the situation is dire. After Hamas gained control in 2007, Israel imposed a blockade, restricting movement of goods and people. Described as an open-air prison, Gaza's 2 million residents face shortages of food, clean water, and electricity. Repeated Israeli military operations have killed thousands, including civilians, and destroyed critical infrastructure. Palestinians face systemic discrimination and oppression. In the West Bank, checkpoints, land confiscation, and home demolitions restrict their lives. Organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have labeled Israel's policies as apartheid, citing unequal laws and treatment of Palestinians in occupied territories and within Israel itself.